Vito Chiaravalloti, what a great name, what a baseball name. That guy came here, he came here late, by the way, because the University of Richmond had gone to the Super Regional against Nebraska. And we knew we were getting this home run, clutch hitting kid. He had been doing it all season at Richmond. And I followed his Super Regional in Nebraska. And in the bottom of the 9th inning, in the second game of that regional, Vito Chiaravalloti hit a grand slam in the bottom of the 9th inning to win the game for the University of Richmond and advance them to that final game of the Super Regional. They did lose that, but you know, Vito's heroics preceded him before he got here. So when he got here, we were really excited about having the Babe Ruth of the league in Newport. And quickly, I could see why he was the guy, the hitter that he was. His batting practices were fun to watch, prolific home runs. That swing was just picturesque. And you know, you could see why this guy hit 23 home runs at the University of Richmond that year.
What stood out about Vito was a big fellow, and personality-wise, a happy guy on the team. He was fun to be around. He was a contributor, and it was a pleasure to work with him.
Well, Vito, he was David Ortiz before David Ortiz, as far as the Gulls were concerned. He's a guy who had 257 during the season, which is pretty good with 19 RBIs. And then the playoffs came, and he had 345 average, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, and 7 playoff games. The deciding game, in the 8th inning against Keene, he hit a home run over the left field fence at Cardines that won it. So his last 4 games, he had a home run in each of the final 4 games. That's Ortizian to me. And now he's a renowned high school swimming coach in New Jersey, I think in his old school Christian Brothers Academy. So it shows that he's quite the Renaissance man when it comes to athletics.
Oh boy, were we fortunate to get him, and came to Newport right away. And yeah, one of the first games he was here, he hit a home run to win the game, and he was behind the dugout kissing all the mothers in the stands. So that kind of started Vito's legend. Vito was a legend in Newport, and you know, he was clutch, just Mr. Clutch all year long. A lot of big hits for us. He was like our big poppy. I'll tell you, anytime we needed a big hit, a big play, or a single home run, whatever it was, or whatever he required, Vito really stepped up and got the job done. And excuse me, was a real team leader on that team, and very well respected by his peers. All his teammates really looked up to him, and he was a leader on that team. We had, you know, need for leadership that year with some players, and he really stepped up when he needed to, and he really his personality and character was reflective in that team. That's really why we won the championships, because because of his leadership skills.
Now you fast forward to the playoffs. You talk about a man amongst boys. Vito just said, you know, all you guys get on my back, because, you know, we're going to ride this thing together, and I'm going to help you, and I'm going to ride this thing with you. And that's what he did. He put everybody on his back. He hit 4 home runs in 7 games, drove in 11 runs. But you know, when he hit those home runs, they just weren't home runs. He always hit home runs when it mattered, when you were down a run, when you were struggling, when you felt like you didn't have a chance. Vito would just lift you. Hit a bomb, and you say, there's Vito again. The focus was unreal. Vito, you had this knack of hitting home runs when they counted the most. A unique ability to focus better than anybody else. You know, there's certain athletes who have that ability, and you look at a guy like Big Papi, Tom Brady. Those kind of people are able to enhance their abilities to perform when things are toughest. In 14 years here, Vito, you probably were and are the most clutch hitter we've ever had here in Newport. We've had some really good ones, Vito. And I don't think anybody has surpassed your ability to hit in the toughest situations when they mattered most. Unbelievable, Vito.